Hey everyone, this is Ashish here again. Welcome to my channel Options X. So in this trade I'm going to talk about Bharti Airtel trade which I posted on the Telegram channel that I and Shubham run. So this trade was taken on 26th of August and we had shorted a Strangle, and then from there on Bharti had moved from 600 to almost 670 plus. Still we were able to manage to close the trade today at around 8k profit per lot. So I'll quickly run through the course of the trade, what we did, how we identified the trade, and what we did to manage the trade. So this is Bharti Airtel one day chart. So this is daily chart. Now if we look at this chart, during Feb earlier it had taken a resistance here at 624, so it had crossed this 600 hurdle, but it again took resistance, and from there on it went down. Then this consolidation happened. It tried to go above this 570 580 kind of a zone one more time here in May, but again it failed to do so. Recently in July end it had crossed this resistance of 580 here, and then from there on it went on to cross this resistance of 620 as well, and it went on to make a high of around 644. Now from there on, this was on 16th of August. Now from there on it again started coming down. So this high which it had taken of 624, it went below that, and it went decent down. If we look at from 620, it went almost to 584, 580. So this 580 level which was here, which it had taken resistance earlier, and so I was expecting that this level should be held even if Bharti continued to go down. Now let's look at this 30-minute chart which we have. So on this 30-minute chart, we initiated this trade on 26th of August in the morning itself. So 26th of August, I think within first 15-20 minutes we initiated this trade. The trade was short on 550 and 700 Strangle. So put delta was obviously higher because our view was that this support of 570 580 zone will be held, and there is not much downside in Bharti from that point in time. So that's why we chose a put delta which was higher. Shubham took this trade one day earlier, so he had sold 560 strike, and when we advised this trade, it was on 26th of August when we posted it on Telegram channel, and that's why we chose 550 as our put strike, and call had skew, so we chose call far enough, which was 700 strike, and it was trading for around 3.5 rupees. So the net credit on the trade was around 8.2 to 8.5. So this credit we had taken, and we thought of making about 50% of the credit. So that was the idea behind the trade. Now if we look at IV chart, so this is this is intraday chart of this is the intraday IV chart of Bharti Airtel. So on 26th of August, we see that there is this, right at the open, there is this sharp spike that we see in the IVs. Previous day it had closed around 29, and then it was opening at around 32, almost a 10%, 10-12% jump in IVs. So that's why we decided to short Bharti Airtel Strangle, and now from there on there had been this very sharp movement on the upside. Now after putting on the trade, it was in consolidation for a couple of days. Not before 30th of August it started to move. So at this point the trade was making around 2.5 rupees. So I advise that you can take one can take profit at 25% of the credit received in any Strangle, but that's a call which we take based on the overall portfolio. So if there are not much trades in our portfolio, and exposure is well within the kind of exposure that we like to take, then we hold on to a trade, hold on to a winning trade, and not necessarily book at 25% credit. So I did not I did not book this trade, and neither did we advise to book at 25% credit, although we were getting it at one point. Now what happens is Bharti Airtel starts moving up. So this was 30th of August, and closing was very strong. So this move from 600 to almost where did it close on that day? 625. Yeah, that move of 4%, 4.5% happened in the last half an hour or so, half an hour to 45 minutes. So the strong so this was a very strong close, and that's why we decided to roll the puts up, and we rolled it to 570. And again the trade was positive delta. So by rolling from 550 to 570, we got an additional credit of 2 rupees, and the delta was positive. When the closing is so strong, it's not good to stay in a negative delta trade. Now next day again, first half Bharti tries to consolidate within that 630 620 range, and the trade was still up. The net trade was still up. From there on, it again started moving up, and from 630 to almost it closed at around 667. So we adjusted the trade twice during the day. So once was during afternoon time, when we had shifted the put from 570 to 590 strike, and then again at the close we shifted the put from 590 to 610. So by shifting the put again twice, we got an additional credit of about 4 rupees. So the overall credit on the 610 and 700 strangle became around 14.5. And for once, this call 700 call made a high of around 13.5, and at that point we were losing about 4-5 rupees on the strangle. So that comes out to be about 8,000. So at that point in time, our loss was around 8,000 per lot. Nevertheless, we decided to hold on because the IVs were there. If we look at this IV chart, this was wait a second. Yeah, this was 31st of August. And if you see here 31st of August, the IVs were 32.64, higher than what we had initiated the trade earlier on. So usually when IVs are such high and we try to book loss there, then it is not good. So if we are following this trading style, then usually during high IV environments we should not cut a shortfall trade unless it is going absolutely out of hand. The losses were within check, so there was no reason for us to cut the trade. Next adjustment what we had thought of was shifting to 630 put if Bharti Airtel crossed 680 on the future level. So this we had identified based on looking at the deltas at that point in time, and we thought that if it crosses 680, then we will again roll the put up. So we would have continued to roll the put up unless it became until it became 700 straddle. So the things which we were continuously checking were the IVs, whether they were still there to hold on to the trade, and secondly the losses, whether they are within the limit or not, and thirdly what we were checking is the deltas. So at any point in time it should not happen that we are short deltas which are beyond manageable risk. So that were the few things which we were looking at. So nevertheless it never crossed 680 level, and we did not roll any further. And today that same strangle 610 and 700 traded for around 9.5 rupees towards day end, but we had closed that strangle for 10 rupees. So that's how we got an exit for about 4.5 rupees on that Bharti Airtel strangle which we had initiated. Alright, there are a couple of more things which I wanted to highlight. One is if you might have noticed that we had made 3 adjustments in this trade. all three were pretty simple adjustments. We were just rolling the puts up to cut down the deltas. Nevertheless, even if you don't aggressively adjust the deltas as much as we did, then also the trade would have been still profitable. Nevertheless, we don't advise that. We like to cut down the deltas early on, so that the position doesn't go out of hand. The second thing is which many people ask me is about selling extra options on the untested side. Now this is something I don't do it, and I never advise it also. There are few reasons for it. One is it is capital inefficient. Obviously, if we are selling more options, naked options on the untested side, then we need to have more capital to do so. Secondly, in case of there is any immediate reversal, then it will hurt very bad. So because we are selling more number of options, then if there is a sharp reversal, then our position will turn from bad to worse. And thirdly, because of the increased gamma risk, if we are doing it closer to the expiry, then if there is a big move in the underlying, then you can imagine what would happen to your position. We saw that happen in metal sector couple of months ago. An option which was trading for 1 rupees went on to make a high of 9 or 10 rupees in Tata Steel. So that's why it is not advisable to add more options on the untested side. Yeah, I think that's about it. I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching. Please do share and subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.